Most highest be praised, magnified, and declared on this blessed holy Shabbat, this blessed holy Sabbath. Blessings and love, beautiful rise and righteousness family. All right, y'all, let's jump right into it. So we are going to jump right back into the gift of the Sabbath. Last Sabbath, we shared a video on embracing the gift of the Sabbath. So let's just go ahead and continue on in that, y'all, right? Because when we look at the gift of the Sabbath, it's so beautiful because it is deeply rooted in our culture, and it really does carry a profound significance to us as believers, as followers of the Torah, of Tanakh, of Messiah, right? When we look at the gift of the Sabbath, it is seen as a day of rest, yes, but a lot of times I don't think we really, just as a people as a whole across the four corners of this earth, really look at what we are resting from, right? And the sanctification that comes in that rest, right? And I also think that people sometimes, I don't know if they forget or what, I don't know, but we need to be reminded that the Sabbath is a sign of the covenant that the Most High established, a covenant between him and his people, right? The Sabbath is so amazing and so beautiful, y'all. Let's also just highlight real quick that it was established as a commandment, FYI, right? And you can find that in Exodus chapter 20 verses 8 through 11, I believe, right? Where it shows that the Israelites were instructed to keep the Sabbath and to keep it holy, right? We are to reflect on both the spiritual and the physical rest and renewal, right? Yes, we rest, but the thing is like, what are we resting from? We shouldn't be resting not doing nothing. No, we're resting from all the things that we do during the week, right? All the house chores, the cooking, the business, the work, and all those different things, right? We rest from and listen, we are supposed to also put down burdens, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional. Yeah, I mean, so let's just jump right into it real quick, y'all. Just gonna share real quick just a few basically key insights, some scriptures, right? I'm actually going to share quite a few scriptures from what people call the Old Testament, which would be Tanakh, from Brit HaChadashah, which people call the New Testament, but it should be the renewed covenant, and then some from the Apocrypha, which is a part of the Tanakh, okay? Just going to share a few scriptures in case you wanted to do your own in-depth study on this blessed holy Shabbat, right? So, for one, it is a day of rest and renewal, right? So when we look at what that means to cease from all the things that we do during the week, okay? And this is spiritual and physical, right? The rest is both spiritual and physical, right? Because offering a reprieve from the pressures of daily life, y'all, everything that we do during the week, we are to stop doing that particular thing for the blessed holy covenant Shabbat, right? And again, I think a lot of times we forget that the Sabbath is a established covenant that the Most High made as a sign. It's a covenant sign, man. The Sabbath serves as a visible sign, a visible, tangible thing that we can do of the covenant between the Most High and his people, right? You can find that in Exodus 31 and 13, where it says, Yah commands, listen to that, right? But as for you, speak to the children of Israel, saying, surely my Sabbath you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Most High who sanctifies you. It is an enduring symbol, unique relationship between Yah and his people, right? We say that we are his. We say that we have embraced back our culture, our history, our heritage. We have took back on the covenant, the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. Then we as his people need to represent that. We need to represent that. When we look at the fact that the Sabbath is a gift, like, listen, think about this, y'all. And it also shows how loving the Most High is, for real, y'all, right? Because when we look at our history as a people and the type of lives that we lived, right? We lived a very active lifestyle, very manual lifestyle, right? So having the Sabbath as a day of rest was a way for us to be renewed, restored, refreshed, right? In mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, soul, and spirit, right? And I'm not gonna make this too long, y'all. We ain't gonna go into the whole Sabbath lesson, although we should, but we not, y'all, because this is just a pop-up for the Rise in Righteousness, right? For the Rise and Righteous playlist. Okay. Another thing, right? The Sabbath is a delight and a joy, right? For real, y'all. The Sabbath, it should not just be seen as a day of rest. Oh, I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to cook. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to work. No, it shouldn't just be seen as that, right? Because there is still movement and action and activity that should be going on. The scriptures tells us that the Sabbath is a holy convocation. That means we are to gather. We are, to do our best to fellowship. Again, we mentioned this in the last one, whether virtual or whether physical, right? Even if it is one of those Sabbaths where you're like, I'm just going to rest, like physically, right? There should be no rest in the other areas, right? You should still be in the word. You should still be rejoicing and praying and praising and worshiping, right? So the Sabbath is a joy and a delight. Again, the Sabbath is not merely a day of rest, but it is meant to be a day of joy. Yeshayahu, or Isaiah chapter 58 verses 13 through 14, emphasizing that delighting in the Sabbath leads to spiritual fulfillment, y'all. If you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy day of the Most High, honorable, then you shall delight yourself in the Most High. And it cracks me up, y'all, because over the years I used to hear people make excuses. Well, what if I delight in, I don't know, playing video games on a Sabbath? Like, what? Tell me how that brings you closer to the Most High. The Sabbath is to reconnect us with the Most High, because during the week we have so many distractions, so much going on, that the Sabbath allows us to reconnect where there shouldn't be a whole bunch of things going on, in a sense where you can't focus on the Most High. Even in the fellowship and the praise and things like that, it should all still bring the attention, the glory right back to the Most High. Right? The act of honoring the Sabbath brings us closer to the Most High. The act of honoring the Sabbath brings blessings and joy, as it allows us as believers to reconnect with the Most High. We shouldn't take that lightly. That's why it's very important for us to know which day is the Sabbath. This is why it's very important to do your own in-depth study, which again, Most High bless. I'm going to share some scriptures from Tanakh, with including the Apocrypha, and then from the Brit HaChadashah, the Renewed Covenant, so you can do your own in-depth study on it. And listen, if you guys want to really go into it, in-depth study in different translations, different languages about the Shabat, how to prove that it is the seventh day, as we know it today, with documentation that can date back longer than any of us, been alive, right? Then definitely just let it be known, man. Shoot an email, drop it in a comment or something, and we'll figure out a way and a time to go ahead and put something together, right? Another thing, right? And then really this just last thing was just a few things to share, right? Then we'll share some script and we'll close on out, right? Restoration of the soul. The Sabbath allows us restoration of the soul. The Sabbath is a time for us to spiritually rejuvenate ourselves in our connection with the Most High, right? To be rejuvenated in His holiness, to be rejuvenated in the fact that your job or your clients or your business or house task and all those things that get your attention all during the week, you get to put them down for the Sabbath, and that is where the connection back to the Most High comes in at, the reconnection, right? When we look in the Apocrypha in the book of Sirach, right, it offers us so much wisdom on keeping the Sabbath holy. On keeping it holy, y'all, and we'll share some of them. That's why I love Judith, man. We got a study coming up for our sisters class real soon on Judith, man. Definitely, sisters, make sure y'all tap in and tune in to that, because that is going to be a beautiful lesson, right? But let me just say some scripture real quick, and then we'll close out with a final comment, right? So let's go. I'm just going to call out a few in each section, right? Right. We all know Exodus chapter 20 verses 8 through 11. Praise Yah. Exodus 31 and 14. Should I just read them? I probably should read them, right? No, you guys can grab it. Okay, y'all, so to do. All right. Praise Yah, praise Yah. Leviticus 19 and 30. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, Most High said, reverence it. You better come on now. You better come on now. I don't know. Deuteronomy 5 and 12. That's a great one. Praise Yah. And I want to read Judith, yo. Judith 8 and 6, y'all. Boom. Ooh, that one right there is a banger. Judith 8 and 6. I'm trying to find some ones to just pop in and out and share with you guys. Anywho, y'all, just let me know, because I'm looking at all these scripts and I'm like, man, that's a lot to just call out about the Shabbat. Yo, y'all, when I say it is so many scriptures on the Shabbat and about the Shabbat, ooh, man, like we better establish it for real in our hearts, man. You know what I mean? Because the beautiful thing about it is an everlasting covenant with the Most High. Leviticus 24 and 8, you know what I mean? Yeah, so okay, y'all, so yeah, that's it. But one of the things I would like to say, y'all, one of the things that you can do, you, me, we, us, that we all can do to make the Sabbath joyous, right? To make the Sabbath joyous, honor it. Honor the Most High by honoring the day that He set as the Sabbath, that He set as a day, covenanted day, right? Make it festive. You know what I'm saying? Like joyous, basically, right? Good meals and family gatherings, right? It's a great time, really it is a great time to catch up with the family or the community or your assembly, you know what I'm saying? To just sit back and be, find out what's been going on with, with everybody doing the week. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a great time to catch up, right? And it's a great time to celebrate with others, the celebration of the Most High, the celebration of the Holy Covenant, you know what I'm saying? The celebration of culture, right? This echoes in the sentiments of, again, Isaiah chapter 58, right? Where delighting in the Sabbath is tied to honoring the day with pleasure. Right? Delighting in the Sabbath is tied to honoring the Sabbath, and that is what gives you pleasure. But that honoring is to the Most High, right? Because at the end of Isaiah 58:13 through 14, at the end of it, it says, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy day of the Most High, honorable. Then you shall delight yourself in the Most High. So by us delighting in the Sabbath, it allows us to delight in the Most High. And it's beautiful to be able to do that together, right? Again, whether you're virtual with fellow believers or physically, you know what I'm saying? Or doing both, right? This is a communal aspect. Doing these things communally, basically will turn the Sabbath into a day of joy. You know what I'm saying? Not only rest from the weekly things, but it turns into a day of gratitude, really. You know what I mean? A day of gratitude, right? And we can celebrate, celebrate in that gratitude, celebrating the Most High together. All right, y'all. Shabbat shalom. One love. Bless up.